Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Welcome to the basketball semifinals podcast. Tommy and Devin here. No nonsense this time. No top tens. No game balls. Nothing. Just straight predictions. And we're going all the way from Division 5AA to Open. Devin, you ready for this?
I'm always ready. But if I can give one shout out, we're going to just buck the trend here. Crean Luthern game last night was insane. Chris Swartstrom, a junior, hit the game-tying shot, a three-pointer from, near half court. To tie it at 40 with 9 seconds left, and they hit the game winner, fadeaway, 12-foot baseline jumper at the buzzer. Coach Josh Beatty drew up a great play, and the Crean Luthern game was crazy. So let's get into the predictions when you're ready.
All right, here we go. Starting with 5AA, it is going to be Foothills Tech traveling to Southlands Christian. I got Southlands Christian. Vashon Vaughn averaging 16.7 points per game for them. Who do you have?
Same. We're going to go Southlands Christian. Vaughn is probably the most talented player on the floor, so let's go with them. All
right, next in the other semifinals, we have Century at Nogales.
I'm going with Century. The coach there this year is doing a great job and has a good freshman over there too who scored 16 points last night in the win. So let's go Century.
I'm going to go the other way. They got Nogales' Matthew Frazier, Dale Baddock, both averaging over 15 points per game. So there's 5AA. Moving on to 5A, we've got Wiseburn-Da Vinci at Calvary Baptist.
I saw Wiseburn-Da Vinci in the Cerritos Gar tournament earlier this year, and that was a tough tournament for them as far as level wise went. So I think that was a good test for them, and I'm gonna pick Wiseburn-Da Vinci.
I'm gonna go Calvary Baptist, perfect 12-0 in league. So coming into the playoffs hot. Next in the 5A, we have St. Monica Academy at Duarte.
I'm gonna go with St. Monica here.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with Duarte. They had some blowout wins in the first two games, 84-43 in the first one. Second game, they had 92-59. So playoffs have not seen a challenge yet, so we'll see what happens against Santa Monica. Moving on to 4AA, St. Bonaventure at Segerstrom.
That's a tough one. Segerstrom, I have a soft spot for Santa Ana teams. I covered Santa Ana back in the day for the Register, so I'm going to go with my guys over at Segerstrom.
I'm going to take them as well. And the other semifinals is San Luis Obispo at Hillcrest.
Hillcrest is the top seed, and I think they're going to run the table here, so I'm going with Hillcrest.
Yeah, Hillcrest kind of almost like in the wrong division type thing. They're 28-3. They're ranked top 100 teams in California by Max Preps. So this should be their division to lose, is what they say. Moving on to Division 4A, we've got Covina going to Rolling Hills Prep.
I'm going to go with Harvey Catani and his crew over at Rolling Hills Prep, the top seed. JT10, who's a 6'6" forward in the paint. He's tough to deal with because he's so skilled. Alex Garcia and Chris Kuhn are both great players. And Vaughn Flowers, a sophomore shooting guard wing type, is starting to come into his own. So I'm going Rolling Hills Prep.
Yeah, Rolling Hills Prep. I think they'll win the finals too. And next, we've got Carnegie Schools-Riverside at Lompoc. I've got Carnegie Schools-Riverside.
Yeah, I'm going with Carnegie as well. Coach Spoon over there, Compton Magic guy, is doing a great job in his first year as the head coach of Carnegie. So I'm going to go with Carnegie, even though that Lompoc drives extremely difficult to do and play after. But Carnegie, I'm going to take them.
Moving on to 3AA. We're moving pretty fast here. We got Crean Luthern, who you just talked about, going to St. Anthony.
Crean Luthern came up with that epic win last night, but St. Anthony, I've seen them, a handful of times this year at the Redondo tournament and in one home game. They're tough to beat at home, and they're just so long and athletic, and their press is just relentless. Coach Cavanis is doing a great job. I'm going St. Anthony.
I'm going to go with them too. Again, it's a team that feels like they're in the wrong division right now, so I think they're going to roll through this one. Next, you got 29 Palms at night.
29 Palms, they've scored a couple upsets here. They beat Laguna Beach, was the number 2 seed.
We both got that wrong, I think, if I remember correctly.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. They beat Lusinger last night. Obviously, the 29 Palms drive to make is tough, so you go out there, you're kind of tight from the drive. But they beat a good Lusinger team with a really good sophomore, Amat Anderson. So I'm going to take 29 Palms on the, upset momentum.
I agree with you. Deshaun Barrett, we talked about the Laguna Beach game briefly, at 27 points in that one. Good guard for 29 Palms. They also have the Bells, who played well in that game for them. Next, we've got Division 3A, Murrieta Mesa at Notre Dame.
This is going to be a really good game. Murrieta Mesa has the right twins, both about 6'7", really good players. And Notre Dame Riverside is one of the most talented underclass team around, with Anton Mozga and Pierce Sterling and Anthony Holland, in addition to some other guys as well. So this is tough, but I'm going to go Riverside Notre Dame.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Murrieta Mesa. I have trouble picking against the right twins. By the way, they're featured on TV show. Go check it out. Sarah Chafee interviewed them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the right twins. The other half of that bracket is Bishop Amat going to Buena.
I saw Bishop Amat play against St. Anthony at St. Anthony. Took them to overtime. They play hard. They got a lot of shooters and some skill guys. I'm going to go Bishop Amat.
I'm going to go with, I guess not an upset because they're home, but I'm going to go with Buena. Devin Cole averaging 21.4 points per game. Josh Edwards, 16 points per game. Going with Buena next. We've got 2AA. It's Cajon going to Crossroads.
This is going to be a fun game. Sharif O'Neal against, the physicality of Jeremiah Martin. Jeremiah, I'm going to go with Cajon. Jeremiah Martin's a freak. He's obviously going to Texas A&M on a football scholarship at defensive end, one of the best in the country. But he's really, really good at basketball as well. And they have guys like Deshaun Washington, DJ Jackson, Darren Jones, one of the best wide receivers in the country. Cajon's just so athletic at every spot. I'm going to go with Cajon.
I'm going with them again. I was going to mention Darren Jones as well, another football player, as well as Jeremiah Martin. Darren Jones, I think, might have to play basketball in college because he's almost growing his way out of the wide receiver role.
Right. Once you get to 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", the wide receiver, the target becomes too big, especially at the knees.
Hey, but you know what? It's a good problem to have whether to go play football or basketball. Excuse me. On the other side, we've got the Brentwood School traveling to Upland.
Man, both these schools are battle-tested based on their league. The Gold Coast League with Brentwood, they had to play Crossroads. They had to play Windward. They had to play Sierra Canyon. And then Upland in the Baseline League with Damien, Etiwanda, Chino Hills, Los Osos. I mean, those are both tough leagues. I like Brentwood with Sam Clareman and Brayley Albert, but I'm going to go Upland here. I think they're riding high, and their length and physicality is going to be a little too much. But I love Moose Bailey over at Brentwood's doing a great job as a head coach.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with the Brentwood School. Not like they're a star-studded team, but they really held their own in league play, which is saying a lot because, as you mentioned, all the teams that they have to play on a routine basis. Moving on, Division 2A. We're chugging along here. We got Pauley at Valencia.
This is going to be a good game as well. I mean, all these games are obviously going to be good, but Valencia pulled an upset, a comeback victory over Hesperia with one of the best juniors in the state, Jaden Shackelford. But Riverside Pauley's, they're riding high, and Lamont Butler's one of my favorite players to watch in the southern section. So I'm going to go Riverside Pauley here. I'm
going to go with Riverside Pauley as well. I think Valencia is 15-14 right now. I mean, they really got hot at the right time here towards late in the season, but I'm going to go with Pauley. The other half, it's Muir, and San Marcos.
I'm going to go Muir here. I like Hunter Woods. 6'5" lefty, you can shoot it, do a little bit of everything. One of the most versatile unsigned seniors left on the board. I like Muir here on the road.
I'm going to go with Muir too. San Marcos has Jackson Stormo, who was averaging 17 points per game and 12.6 rebounds per game. So it's going to be on Tayshaun and Aubrey Thomas to play some good defense inside to try and shut him down. But I think Muir is going to win this game. Division 1 now. We have Pasadena at Rancho Verde.
Pasadena, man, both these teams, I mean, think of how you want, but I mean, Pasadena on the road last night beat Damien. That's an upset of sorts. I'm sure most people had Damien taking that one, but they handled him pretty well. And Bryce Hamilton's a freak scorer. But Rancho Verde, I picked them to lose against La Mirada for some reason. I don't know why, but we don't need to go into that one. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. Their defense is just ridiculous. Beat Harvard Westlake on the road. Beat Roosevelt on the road. I mean, those are both huge wins. I'm going to go with Rancho Verde.
I'm going to go with them too. They also avenged a December loss to Roosevelt in the playoffs, so they're really flying high right now. Next, we got Long Beach Pauley, the other Pauley, going to Chino Hills.
If there's like a all-encompassing Coach of the Year award, I think Shelton Diggs from Long Beach Pauley has a really, really good argument to make for that. His starting lineup is a bunch of guys that are, all guards, no one taller than 6'3", and I think that's probably being nice as far as size goes. But they beat Oak Park last night, and what they do best is they speed teams up. They make teams with big men play their speed, force turnovers, and finish on the other end. Chino Hills obviously has Onyeka Okongwu, probably the best big in the 2019 class on the West Coast. But I'm going to go Pauly here. I think Pauly's going to ride it into the D1 championship game.
I'm going to go with Pauly too, and Malik, I'm going to say your name wrong, but Malik Salahuddin with 30 points against Oak Park. Daryl Polk Jr., 27 points. So they got some guys who can fill it up.
Close. Salahuddin. That was close.
Close. You know what? I was debating between the two, and I got it wrong. So, good job, Tommy.
Good.
Open division, Devin, I'm assuming, is this where you're going to be?
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I mean, I'll be there on Saturday afternoon, evening, and Friday I'll be somewhere. I'm not sure if it's Poly, Chino Hills, or St. Anthony, Crean. One of those two, I think, is going to be where I go. But I will definitely be at Cal Baptist on Saturday.
Yep, and again, games here are at Cal Baptist. If you want to go check them out, go. They're fortunately in the same gym, so you don't have to go anywhere. Starting with Sierra Canyon neutrally playing Bishop Montgomery. I'm
going to go Bishop Montgomery. Just, too disciplined, too deep at every position. I'm going Bishop Montgomery. Yeah,
this is a rematch of their game in the Take Flight Challenge on January 5th, and Bishop Montgomery was missing Gianni Hunt, David Singleton, and Will Crawford, and still won by 3 points. So, Bishop Montgomery, I think we're going to go there. The other game, the final game we're going to talk about, it is Mater Dei versus Etiwanda.
Yeah, I mean, this is a solid game between two programs that just know how to execute what they do best. And in order to beat Mater Dei, what you have to do is you have to make Spencer Friedman uncomfortable, which is one of the hardest things to do because he's so poised and patient and mature in his game. A really talented kid, both in the classroom and on the court. So what you have to do to beat Mater Dei is make him uncomfortable. And I think Etiwanda's length, speed, athleticism on defense is going to be a little too much for Mater Dei as a whole. I'm going to go with Etiwanda.
Yeah, I think in order for Mater Dei to win, you're right. Michaal Wang and Harrison Butler are going to have good games. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Etiwanda, you mentioned the defense, only allowing 52.45 points per game. They know how to lock people down, so I'm going to take Etiwanda as well. So, according to both Devin and I, it'll be Bishop Montgomery and Etiwanda in the Open Division Finals, which means, sorry for both those teams, they're both probably going to lose. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here and get ready for the finals?
No, man, I'm just looking forward to Friday and Saturday, and then getting into state.
All right, this is it. Those are your picks for the semifinals. We will see you when the state playoffs start.